Shalom Aleichem and welcome to Online Smicha. Election day. Elections are coming. What does the Torah say about elections? How does it work? And do you have to agree to the results of the elections? So we all know there's a famous pasuk in the Torah. It says Acharei Rabim Lahates, that we are told to follow majority. Now the primary place where the Torah uses that pasuk is when there are different opinions in judges, if guilty or non-guilty in a specific case. So we follow the majority of the judges, whatever verdict the majority of the judges hold like. However, that rule of Acharei Rabim Lahates, following the majority, is used in so many other things. And the famous other one is that you use it when it's kosher or non-kosher, mixed together. Sometimes you also follow what is the majority of this mixture. If you lost something, what is the majority of the place where it was found? There are so many. The original place is Acharei Rabim Lahates by judges, but it's extended into so many other halachas. Now there is an interesting halacha, and people that might not know this, that this is a din in Choshen Mishpat, Simin Kuf Samach Gimel. The Ramah brings a clear-cut din. We know that no two people are alike. Everybody has their way of life. Everybody has their opinion. They have their understanding how the world around them should look like, what's most important, what's not important. No, everybody has their own opinion. So how do we get people to get along? So the Ramah over here in Simin Kuf Samach Gimel, Seif Aleph, says it very simple. In your own house, do whatever you want. Whatever is legal, whatever is right, whatever is moral, in your own house could be done. But kol tzarchei tzibur, she'einam yecholim lahashves atzmam, all community matters that people cannot seem to agree. There are so many different opinions, what's important, what you should pay for, what not. And we all know the issues at hand. So how do you solve the problem? How do you get everybody on board? Says the Ramah, Yesh lahoishiv kol balabayis anoisnim mas. You sit down or you make a meeting from all the balibatim, all the people who pay tax. Here it's in the middle of issues between neighbors and issues between partners and real estate. So he says if there's a association of people or whatever, a community, and there are different issues, anybody who's a tax-paying member, you call them together, v'yikablu aleihem, and they accept upon themselves, shekol echad, another beautiful condition, yoymar daitoi l'shem shamayim. Everybody should vote, everybody should say his opinion, but say an honest, Hashem Shamayim opinion. What's best for the sake of heaven? What's genuine? What's real? Everyone has a right to vote. If you pay tax, this is a din in Ramah. If you just remember, the condition is l'shem Shamayim. Have what Shamayim, heaven, thinks is right. Vote. Say your opinion. And now there might be, obviously, even what's right, l'shem Shamayim, there could be difference of opinions. And then you count up the votes. Whoever is the majority, whichever vote is the majority, that's rule. So powerful is this roiv, this majority, says the Ramah, V'im hamiyut yimanu haroiv, if the minority is standing up and protesting against the majority, no, we're still not going to accept it. We're not happy. Listen how far the Ramah says this. Yecholim lachuf oisam, the majority who won is able to force or implement their final ruling, should be in place for their neighborhood or whatever tzarchei tzibur there is, as far afilu b'dinei akum. Halachically, this can even be taken to court. We know our Torah doesn't allow you to go to court, but if the miut, the minority, is not willing to listen, you're allowed to take them to court, or and spend money, because the Torah says that when an issue like this happens, this is the way to solve it. Let every tax-paying member a chance to vote, and you count the votes, and the Raiv is what wins. And the miut, the minority, has to follow. But what was that beautiful two words that the Ramah said? The Ramah said, L'shem Shemayim. Vote for what's right for the sake of heaven. Not what somebody hacked your chinik, somebody told you you're going to get personal benefits. There's all these gimmicks that people go out and they're trying to get your vote, and they promise you this, promise you that. That, if they're promising you things that are not important, you're going to get extra help here, extra things that are just to seduce you to vote for them. That's wrong. There was an interesting Shalos Tshuvas Chassam Sofer in Chelik Hay. Back then already, the Chassam Sofer was asked a Shaila. There was elections for a rabbi. Who should be voted the rabbi of the city? Who should be elected as the rabbi of the city? One rabbi, one of the people who was running, he probably knew how to get votes better. He knew how to make this, how to schmear better, and he was a better talker. He went around, he spoke to people, and he promised people, and he gave out things to people. So and he won. The opponent said, "This is not fair." He did things that just weren't part of the issues, and because of that, people were so, wow, look, he gave out tchotchkes, and they voted for him. So I'm going to read you the words of the Chassam Sofer. The Chassam Sofer says, "Hakabala hahi shal yedei oisei haminui." That end result, that he seemed to win because he had more votes, batla meikara, is disqualified. Nothing. Sharei hayutzrichim loymar dei usam l'shem shamayim, because everybody voting had to say a opinion. Their opinion had to be based on what's best for the community, l'shem shamayim, not because you're getting some personal benefits or he sweet talked you. You have to vote l'shem shamayim, but once the votes are in and the roiv is for whatever candidate, you have to, even if you voted for the minority, you're in the minority group, but once the results are in, you have to listen to the roiv.